Hello everyone, I'm Isan. In this video, we will be unboxing a new smartphone from Xiaomi Redmi Note 8. Okay, now let's see the box of this Redmi Note 8. On the front side of the box, there is the Xiaomi logo. And there is also a picture of Redmi Note 8 smartphone in white color. But the device here that we unboxed is not in white but in black space color. It comes with 4 GB of RAM and 64 GB internal memory. On the right side of the box there is a print of Redmi Note 8. On the left is also the same. The top and bottom sides of the box are empty. On the back of the box there are some key specifications of Redmi Note 8. It comes with 4 rear cameras and 48 megapixel AI quad camera. The screen size is 6.3 inch with dot drop display. It also comes with 4000 mAh battery and Snapdragon 665 processor. I bought this smartphone offline at Mi Store because I can't get it online on Lazada flash sale. Luckily, the stock is still available at the Mi Store. Okay, now let's just open the box of this Redmi Note 8. And here's the contents of the box. In the first part of the box, when open, we get a small white box that has a SIM card tray ejector. Inside the box, there is a manual book and also a jelly case. Then here we immediately get the Redmi Note 8 smartphone with 4 rear camera setup. Let's put the smartphone aside and see what are other contents of this box first. Here we also get a charger adapter and also the cable. And that's the entire contents of the box. The charger for Redmi Note 8 comes with 10 watt outputs, even though this phone actually supports up to 18 watts output. If you want to use 18 watts output, you need to purchase it separately since it's not included in the box. For the cable here, it already comes with USB Type-C cable. And that's the entire contents of the Redmi Note 8 sales package with the black space variant. In the box there are a smartphone, a charger adapter, a USB Type-C cable, then a SIM card tray ejector, manual book, and finally there is a jelly case. Now let's put aside all of the contents of the box and focus on the smartphone. This is the Redmi Note 8 smartphone with black or space black color. On the back there is a sticker that contains some information about this Redmi Note 8 smartphone. For the first impression, the camera bump on the rear camera is pretty thick. Now let's remove this sticker so the smartphone looks better on camera. Okay, here's the back design of Redmi Note 8 in black color. On the camera, there is a print of 48 megapixel AI camera printed vertically. In the middle, there is a fingerprint sensor, and there are 4 camera setups which line up vertically on the left. Without putting on the jelly case, the camera bump on the smartphone is pretty thick. At the bottom, there is a Redmi logo which is also written vertically. Now let's see the front side of the phone. Let's remove this front sticker so it can look better. On the front side there is a Redmi logo at the bottom, and there is also a notch for the front camera at the top of the screen. Now let's turn on the smartphone. When turning on the phone, there is Redmi Note 8 by Xiaomi on screen in the center and powered by Android at the bottom. Okay, here's the initial appearance of Redmi Note 8. Redmi Note 8 smartphone is still using MIUI 10 user interface. Now let's set up the smartphone first. And here it is, the first initial looks of the Redmi Note 8 display. The front design looks quite similar with the previous Redmi Note 7 series. It comes with a dot drop notch design at front. The size of the bottom bezel also doesn't look much different. The one slight difference is seen in Redmi print at the bottom of the Redmi Note 8 smartphone. And there is also the notch size that looks a little bit different in Redmi Note 8. Now let's take a look at Redmi Note 8 smartphone when placed on the table. The camera bump of the rear camera is pretty noticeable when pressing the smartphone like this. Typing on the table will be very hard without putting on the case. But of course it will be much easier if you put the case on. The setup of the buttons on Redmi Note 8 is pretty similar to the previous Redmi Note 7 series. The volume rocker button and the power button is still on the right side of the phone. The SIM card tray is on the left that support dual nano SIM and a dedicated micro SD slot. At the bottom there are speakers, a USB Type-C port, a microphone, and a 3.5mm audio jack. At the top there is a microphone and also an IR blaster for remote control. Now let's see the setting of this Redmi Note 8 smartphone. This phone already comes with dark mode feature on this MIUI 10 and Android Pie 9.0 operating system. This phone uses MIUI 10.3 Global Stable. This variant comes with 4GB of RAM and the remaining internal memory is 49GB of 64GB in total. Okay, now let's take some sample photos using the front and rear camera of this Redmi Note 8. The camera setup on this smartphone is 48MP with f1.8 for the main camera. Then it also comes with 8MP ultra-wide lens with f2.2 and two remaining lenses are macro and depth sensor lens with 2MP resolution. First, let's take a photo using the rear camera with 8MP ultra-wide lens camera. Then let's take a photo using its main 48MP camera. Now let's take a photo with a telephoto lens with 2x zoom. Then let's try using 48MP main camera. There is also a night mode here for Redmi Note 8 smartphone. The macro lens can also be used in Pro mode. The lens can be selected to capture photo using the macro lens. Since the macro lens is only 2MP, of course the result is not as good as using the main camera. But maybe it can be useful for those of you who like taking photos of objects that are quite small. But for me, I will definitely not use this lens most of the time. Now let's take the photo using the front-facing camera on this Redmi Note 8 front camera that comes with 13MP resolution. The front camera on Redmi Note 8 Pro is a little bit higher, 20MP. Now let's take the photo using the front-facing camera with default settings. And this is the result of the photo when AI mode is active. The default setting here for smooth and slender option is slightly erased from the settings. Now let's try to remove all of the effects to 0. And here it is the sample photo using the front-facing camera on Redmi Note 8 without any effect. Okay, that's all the unboxing video of Redmi Note 8 smartphone. I'll update the review of this smartphone soon on the next video, so don't forget to like, subscribe and also click the bell notification button so you'll be notified when there is a new video from this channel. See you in the next video.